Dennis Johnson. For Atlanta, Kevin Willis, Antoine Carr, and of course Dominique up front, the backcourt of Eddie Johnson and Randy Whitman.
And Kevin Willis seems to play his best against the best players in this league. And let's see what he does tonight.
Boston gets the tip. They'll have it beginning of the first and fourth. Atlanta will have it beginning of the second and third. A jam-packed crowd, and McHale throws the ball away as Ainge cut the wrong way. John Sterling, Charlie Chris here at Lakefront Arena, and hopefully it'll be an excellent game. If it is, if it's like the games that have been played in Boston with Atlanta and the Celts, well, you really enjoy it. You got a treat in store. Front court, here's Dominique. Up top, Antoine Carr, the head of the key on the drive. Spinning in the lane, and he walks. That time, Carr had McHale off balance, but his sneaker kind of caught, stuck on the floor, and he walked.
Yeah, he was off balance, too.
Dennis Johnson to come across. He's played by Whitman. Eddie Johnson will play Danny Ainge. McHale, that's a tough job for Antoine Carr. But then Boston is the best team in basketball. Bird off the post. His turnaround is no good. Rebound by Antoine Carr. Ahead Eddie. Hawks will push it. Eddie on the drive. Get it off to Whitman. The left baseline jumper is no good. Rebound tipped and back tap taken away by Eddie Johnson. It's a scoreless ball game. We have played just about a minute. Off the Carr pick, Eddie cutting left in the lane, back to Antoine, rolling underneath. His layup is good. A good, strong drive against Robert Parrish, Antoine Carr. 2-0 Atlanta. Here's Danny Ainge. Down low for McHale. McHale posted up. In the lane, he gets a layup, but he walked.
Ooh, that's a good move. I kind of question that call, but Kevin McHale has been playing very, very well since he's been in that starting role.
Well, Kevin McHale did score 98 points in 2 games. He's a great player, but Boston normally has him coming off the bench. Dominique, a tough jumper over Bird, no good. Rebound, Parrish. Dominique has had some great games against Boston this year. Dennis Johnson on the drive. He pulls up from 18 and hits it.
Dennis Johnson having his best year as a pro.
Ball game is tied at 2. Dominique in the right corner. Dominique on the floor, tied up. The ball is knocked free, and it's captured by the Celtics. It's a pro-Boston crowd. Here's McHale driving in the lane. Off to Ainge, and there's going to be a call against Atlanta. The foul is a pushing foul against Antoine Carr.
Are you sure we're not in the Boston Garden?
Robert Parrish comes from Centenary here in Louisiana. He has a lot of favorites, a lot of fans rooting for him. Carlos Clark from Mississippi, and of course, Larry Bird. Anyway, they see the Celts on TV, and they're here rooting for him tonight. Maybe the Hawks can spoil that. Left wing, here's Ainge, open jumper off the pick, good.
Antoine has to come out on that when they rotate because that guard's going to be open. So Antoine has to jump out and make that guard make another pass.
It's 4-2 Boston. Willis down low. Baseline jumper. Willis is left short. The rebound is loose. Taken by Carr. He fakes it and jams it. Bird is the great inventor. He got in the lane, and that's the only way he could put up the shot, so he invented a shot. Here's Willis on the drive. He got fouled outside by Parrish, a non-shooting foul. You look at Casey Jones, and that's Bird's, to me, that's his greatest ability, able to invent passes and shots.
Right, and he can invent any kind of pass and any kind of shot. Whatever happens to fit the situation.
Absolutely. Boston leads it by 2, 6-4. Here's Randy Whitman right side. Down low, Dominique overplayed, knocked away by Bird. Lost touch by Dominique. It'll be Boston ball. Bird looks up ahead and finds Dennis Johnson. Front court comes DJ to the baseline for the jumper. It's no good. Rebound taken away by Kevin Willis. He and Carr banged each other. Carr, a little woozy. Front court, Eddie on the drive. The running right-hander is banked up and in. Eddie Johnson. The last time these two teams met, Eddie Johnson had 34 points and 15 assists.
Eddie, that's Eddie's game right here. Push the ball, go to the basket, create the foul, bank it off the glass, and it's 2.
Ball game is tied at 6. It is ironic the Hawks, who are really struggling, have lost 8 of 9, and the only win in Boston Garden against the Celtics when the Hawks had 8 players. Eddie's foul shot is good, 3-point play, and Atlanta leads it by 1-7-6. Front court, Ainge, left corner. Down low for McHale, the turnaround hook is no good. Rebound, Bird, great position. His layup is blocked, he got fouled, a 2-shot foul. Larry Bird leads the Celtics in everything but assists, and there he's only 15 behind Dennis Johnson. Here he gets great position.
That's where Dominique has to play hard and run the floor well, because Larry Bird will sneak in like he did then, get the offensive rebound, and create foul situations for your other teammates.
The thing that Boston does better than any other team, especially when they have this lineup in, McHale, Bird, and Parrish, is rebound the ball in the defensive glass. They are, on the offensive board, your defensive glass, they are a tremendous offensive. In fact, they're not tremendous. They're the best offensive rebounding team in basketball. And they beat teams that way a lot.
Well, that's how they won the championship last year against the Lakers. I mean, they just pounded the offensive boards, and they just out-muscled the Lakers to win that series.
Eddie Johnson to come up against mild pressure from Dennis Johnson. Boston almost never trap presses. They'll go man-to-man. Eddie on the drive. In the lane, the runner is backed up and out. The rebound taken by McHale. Leaving on the play was Ainge. He gets a layup. Ainge left on the shot, so he had an easy layup.
But see, when you call a play against this team, you have to make sure you get a good shot. That was not a particularly good shot by Eddie, and Ainge took off after he saw the miss and got an easy layup.
And, of course, you can take off if you think your team's going to get the rebound. Dominique in the lane for the jumper. It's good. Tough shot by Dominique.
That shows the confidence that that the Celtics have.
Bird in the corner. His bomb from there is short. Rebound, Antoine Carr. Boston by 1, 10-9. Atlanta will push. Atlanta running very well against Boston. They have all year. And I can't tell you the reason for it, but here's Eddie up top. It's a 1-4 set. Off the baseline pick comes Whitman, but Dennis Johnson plays through. Down low, here's Willis with a turnaround. Leaves it short again. Rebound, Larry Bird. Boston, of course, ever since the days of Bob Cousy, they run the ball at every opportunity. Bird holds the ball left side. Down low, McHale. In the lane, the short jumper is good.
And what Kevin Willis has to do, instead of fading away so much, try to go into Robert Parrish.
Dominique on the drive. Lays it in. A beautiful drive by Dominique. Celtics lead at 12-11. Good first quarter. Boston and Atlanta have played some great games this year. Down low, Parrish is doubled. Baseline, fakes it. There's going to be a 3-second violation on Boston. I don't know the reason for it, Charlie, but Atlanta has run well against Boston all year.
Well, it comes down to the fact that when you play against the best, it seems to bring out the best in you, and that's what it does with Atlanta. It brings out the best that they can possibly do.
Kevin Willis at the head of the key. Off the pick now, down low for Carr. Back to Whitman in the corner. Carr is posted low. Now Whitman will take that jumper and miss it. Rebound taken away by Parrish. There's Ainge leaving again. His drive pass is, and there's going to be a foul on Eddie Johnson. Ainge took off on Whitman's shot, but Atlanta got back and Eddie did foul Ainge. Right now there's a timeout on the floor. Timeout with the score, Boston 12 and Atlanta 11. So the Celtics are playing for the best record, and they currently lead Philly by 2. Interception on the overplay by Dominique. Get it ahead for Eddie on the drive. The layup blocked by Parrish and taken away. A great play. Dominique intercepted the pass, knocked it away, but is picked up by McHale to Bird. Left wing, Ainge open from the corner. He's got it.
That's one thing that Boston does. They move the ball well. They hit the open guy. They don't care who scores.
Dominique on the drive. His layup is no good. Rebound, Robert Parrish. Parrish to Dennis Johnson front court. Boston by 3, 14-11. Bird, the bomb, no good. Rebound, Antoine Carr. He sealed off McHale well. Get it ahead for Eddie. Eddie on the drive. Down low, Dominique. His turn hook is no good. Rebound, McHale. Both teams running ferociously. Dennis Johnson front court. Great pass to Parrish. Blind pass to Parrish. He laid it in.
Great pass by Dennis Johnson. Good look. He looked the defense off, threw a blind pass right to Robert Parrish. Great pass.
Atlanta will call a 20-second timeout. 5:57, just under 6 minutes remaining in the first period, and Boston leads by 5, 16-11. Elsewhere in the NBA, at the end of 3 periods, Phoenix leads New York 94-86. At the end of 3, Indiana leads New Jersey 91-83. At the end of 1, Houston over Denver 31-25, and with 8 minutes remaining in the half, Kansas City leads Portland 41-36. This telecast authorized under broadcasting rights granted by the Hawks, intended solely for the entertainment of our audience. Any publication, rebroadcast, retransmission, or the use of the pictures, descriptions, or accounts of this game in whole or in part without express written consent of the Hawks is prohibited. Doc Rivers comes in for Randy Whitman, so Atlanta will probably run even more now they got the speedier player in. Boston by 5, 16-11. Here's Rivers right side. Up top for Willis. They give him room there. Rivers lost it out of bounds as he and Eddie came together. Boston will challenge you all the time. They get it up and they get their shot quickly. Bird front court, played by Dominique. The high pick, now Parrish rolls from the pick, and Bird takes a three-point try, no good. Rebound goes to Antoine Carr. Ahead for Eddie Johnson, front court. Eddie on the right wing almost lost his dribble. He did, but it's recovered outside by Antoine Carr. Back outside Rivers as Mike Fratello calls the play. Rivers slightly right of the key. Boston by 5, 16-11. Off the pick, interception by Dennis Johnson. Passing lane steal, he gets a layup.
Dennis Johnson, one of the better defensive players, and Kevin has to be particularly careful because he can't just throw the ball blind. He has to make sure that guy is open.
18-11, Rivers takes it up top and misses it. Rebound, Dominique. In the lane, the short jumper is good. Dominique buries a little jumper in the lane, and Boston's lead is 5, 18-13. 4:55 remaining in the period. Here's Dennis Johnson, front court. Down low for Bird, great look. A great look between Bird and Dennis Johnson.
And the Hawks, each one of them had their back to the ball. You have to be able to, you have to see the basketball.
Willis, right box, takes the short jumper, it's good. Kevin Willis gets his jumper to go down. Boston by 5, 20-15. Ainge, a great lead for Dennis Johnson. And the deep left corner, down low for Bird with position. He fakes it and shoots it good.
Great move. They're picking the Hawks apart right now with their passing.
Bird has 8 in the game. Rivers on the drive. Doc goes to the baseline. Now back outside for Willis. On the left wing, Eddie Johnson has Dominique Lowe for the turnaround jumper. Bullseye! Dominique has 8 in the game. He and Bird have had great games against each other this year. DJ in the lane. Bird, the fall away is good.
Great touch.
There he is, the great inventor, Larry Bird. He invents all the time. Willis down low for his short jumper. No good. Rebound. Knocked loose. On the floor, loose. Knocked out of bounds by Boston. It'll be Atlanta basketball. Ricky Brown and Cliff Livingston come in for Atlanta, replacing Dominique Wilkins and Kevin Willis. So Atlanta goes with Livingston, Brown, and Carr up front. Doc Rivers, Eddie Johnson, the back line. Eddie, left corner, jumper is good. Tough jumper by Eddie.
Tough jumper due to the fact Dennis Johnson was right in his face.
Down low, Parrish in the lane. He has position. The short hook is no good. Rebound, Ainge is no good. He got fouled. I'll tell you one thing Atlanta's defense is doing tonight, and it will not help them win the game. They are allowing Boston to get great position down low.
They are, and there's Eddie not boxing out, and you have to box those guards out. Ainge and Dennis Johnson, guys 6'4", 6'5". You have to put your body on them, make sure that you keep them out of the lane.
Boston by 5, 24-19. Ainge has 2. He hits his first. Danny Ainge been a big part of this team. They traded away Gerald Henderson. Foul shot, Ainge is good. Ainge has made a pair. They traded off Gerald Henderson to make room for Ainge in the lineup to give him more and better outside shooting, open things up inside, and Ainge has done a great job for Boston. He has Carr giving off to Livingston. Cliff, head of the key, on the drive in the lane. The short jumper is no good. He got fouled, a 2-shot foul. 3:19 remaining in the period. Boston by 7, 26-19. And Ray Williams, the ex-Knick, comes in. Ray is still a little bit over his playing weight.
A little bit.
You're a nice guy. But however, he's trying to get into shape for the playoffs, and by the playoff time, Ray Williams probably will be Ray Williams.
Yeah, he will. And I was with Ray today. We were down in the game room playing some Pac-Man and Gallagher, and I was teasing Ray about his weight, and he said, "There's nothing wrong with my weight."
Okay. Were you guys eating junk food too?
No, we weren't eating junk food. We were just playing.
Livingston makes his foul shots. And Boston leads by 5, 26-21. Boston has their starting lineup in, except for Ray Williams in for Dennis Johnson. Atlanta now has Doc Rivers and Randy Whitman on the back line, and the front court of Ricky Brown, Antoine Carr, and Cliff Livingston. Boston by 5, 26-21. There's a problem with, I think, a 24-second clock, I think. I guess they'll solve that problem by, I can't see the clock from where I'm sitting, but I think that's the problem, the 24-second clock.
It is, that's the problem.
It's not odd for the Hawks to be involved in a game with a problem with the clock, but that's another story. Well, Ray Williams comes out of the backcourt, played by Rivers. 5-point Boston lead with just over 3 minutes remaining in the period, 3:10 to be precise. High posting Parrish. Parrish back to the basket on the right side. Down low for a cutting Ray Williams. He lost it underneath. Taken away by Antoine Carr. Carr can really handle it. 3-on-2. Carr all the way.
Whoa.
He jams. Antoine Carr. Now that's one of the baby birds.
Now that's handling the ball. I mean, he goes in there with some authority too. Said, move over, Larry.
6'9", 240 pounds. He got some talent. He overplays, gets a steal. Livingston leads the break. Right side, Carr. Carr, the short jumper is no good. Long rebound, Robert Parrish. Parrish got the outlet to Danny Ainge. 26-23 Boston. Ainge to the hole. The runner is good. Tough shot by Danny Ainge.
Good shot by Danny Ainge. Good move to the basket.
Danny Ainge has 10 points. And Boston by 5, 28-23. 2:20 remaining in an exciting first period. Here's Rivers on the right wing. They open the right side for Rivers. Now the Hawk other players get in the offense as Rivers had nothing going on the right side. Here's Ricky Brown at the foul line on the wing to Whitman. The drive, the runner is no good. That's his shot too. Rebound Parrish. Ahead for Bird. Larry Bird front court. He gets doubled up. He dribbles away and gets it knocked away by Rivers. But Rivers draws the foul. And right now Boston's going to call time. There is a timeout on the floor. A timeout with the score. Boston 28 and Atlanta 23. 28-23, Boston by 5, 1:57 remaining in the first period. Now, the odd thing is, Charlie, Atlanta has run with Boston, but the Hawks have not hit their shots, and here they are down by only 5. And they really haven't played that well because they haven't scored on so many opportunities.
That's true, and if they score on the opportunities, I mean, they could be ahead in this game. But if they continue to run at the pace they're running, and they continue to miss shots and give Boston those easy baskets like they've gotten, it's going to be very difficult to win this game.
Larry Bird has a couple foul shots. Doc Rivers drew the foul. Scott Wedman is in for Boston. He replaces Kevin McHale, so it's Parrish, Bird, and Wedman up front. Ray Williams and Danny Ainge.
And you have to respect Scott Wedman's shooting because he can just fill it up.
Bird has 12 now with those 2 foul shots. 1:55 remaining in the period, and Atlanta down by 7, 30-23. Scotty Hastings in for Atlanta. He, Livingston, and Ricky Brown up front with Rivers and Randy Whitman. Rivers up top for Whitman in the lane. The short jumper is good. He rolled it in.
Nice touch.
Whitman, those are all tough shots Whitman takes, but those are his shots. They're kind of in-between shots. He can hit the outside jumper too, but he really likes to put it on the floor and take the in-between. There's Wedman's first shot. Charlie Chris was telling you the truth.
Yes, he can really shoot the ball.
On the right side, Wedman. Up top now for Ricky Brown. 32-25 Boston. Rivers left wing. Hastings is low. Here is Whitman on the drive back to Rivers for the open jumper. It is no good. Rebound, Larry Bird. Atlanta not hitting their jumper tonight. Down by 7 here. Bird front court. 1:05 remaining in the period. Ray Williams. Williams on the drive. Can't get in and goes back to the sideline. Now Williams again. 2-man game. Williams and Parrish. Williams takes the 3 and drills it. Ray Williams.
Ray Williams can hit that shot. I mean, he's a little bit out of shape, but he can stand still and shoot the ball.
Williams is very strong. When he's in shape, he has as much offensive talent as any guard in basketball. Ray Williams can shoot it way outside and drive and hang and rebound the ball too. Whitman in the left corner. Atlanta now down by 10. Livingston posted, has no shot. Back to Whitman. There's the in-between drive to Livingston. His layup blocked by Parrish. Taken away by Parrish. Boston by 10. A steal by Rivers. 35-25 Boston. 20 seconds remaining in the period, and Atlanta will hold it now for the final shot. Shot clock has been turned off. 13 seconds remaining in the period. Atlanta deploys in a 1-4 set. 2 men on either side of the lane, and outside Rivers to take the middle. Rivers on the drive. Got in the lane. His layup is good. Beautiful drive against Ray Williams. 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second. The buzzer will sound. And at the end of 1 period of play, the score. The Boston Celtics 35 and the Atlanta Hawks 27. Looking at the scoring leaders in the first quarter, Boston leads by 8, 35-27. Celtics led by Larry Bird's 12, Danny Ainge 10, and Atlanta led by Dominique's 8. The Hawks will stay away on the road for a week. We'll have radio only on the radio network from Golden State from Oakland, California, 10:15 on Thursday, 10:15 Saturday from Seattle, 9:45 Sunday from Portland, and 8:45 back in New Orleans next Tuesday against Washington. Then Atlanta will be home Friday night, and that night might be a huge crowd. It's another one of the rap nights. The first rap night against Cleveland sold out. Tickets are going quick for this game against Kansas City and Run DMC on Rap Night, Hip Hop Night on Friday the 22nd. The Hawks will go with Randy Whitman, Doc Rivers in the backcourt, Dominique Wilkins, Scott Hastings, and Ricky Brown. Front court, Dominique on the fly in the lane. The layup, short. Rebound, McHale. Ahead, Larry Bird. Boston by 8, 35-27. Ray Williams for the Celts. In the lane for his jumper. No. Rebound. What a brick that was. Rebound, Scotty Hastings.
That was a real brick.
But Ray Williams is not in shape. He will be, and when he is, Boston has landed another great player. And I think he's going to spell the difference. That's my own opinion. Give you Boston's lineup in a minute. John Sterling, Charlie Chris at Lakefront Arena in New Orleans. Down low for Dominique. The tough shot is no good. He got fouled by McHale from behind. It'll be a two-shot foul. Boston begins the second period with Larry Bird, Kevin McHale, Scott Webman up front, the backcourt of Quinn Buckner and Ray Williams.
And they're going to double-team Dominique every chance they get. And there's the foul by McHale, who looked at Hugh Evans like he was saying, hey, I didn't foul him. That was a foul.
Dominique scored 47 in one game against Boston. Then the Hawk win, if my memory serves, Dominique at 39. Here, Neek makes 1 of 2. He has 9 points in the game. Boston by 7, 35-28. Boston does not have a deep bench, so you'll see their star players play an awful lot of minutes. Ray Williams down low is being pushed by Whitman. It'll be a non-shooting foul.
I tell you, Randy has a 2 or 3 inch height advantage on Ray, but Ray is so strong and jumps so well, he can post players of that height, and it doesn't make any difference.
Ray Williams is another offensive rebounder.
Right, he is.
And he and Dennis Johnson, both rebounding guards. Boston, Dominique overplays, knocks it away, regained by Ray Williams. Bird is out, and Greg Kite is in. The second-year player from BYU. Posted Ray Williams. He gets the pass in the lane from McHale's hook. It is good. Basket counts. He got fouled by Ricky Brown.
And that's something Ray does well, too. He passes the ball well. And Ricky has to make sure that he cuts in front of McHale to keep him from getting the ball in that position. And Ray is a good passer. He sees the floor very well. And there's the cut-in, and Ricky cannot have that much room between him and McHale.
Kevin McHale on the line to try to complete the three-point play. With Cedric Maxwell out injured, McHale has had some phenomenal nights of late, playing an awful lot of minutes. He misses that foul shot, and the Hawks rebound the ball. 37-28, Boston by 9. Just under 11 minutes remaining here in the first half. Down low, Dominique, kicked by Quinn Buckner, and Atlanta will get a brand new 24. Boston by 9, 37-28. You look at Mike Fratello, Hawks head coach, Rivers front court. 1-4 set for the Hawks. Off the pick comes Whitman. Whitman, no shot there. Back outside, but Dominique, the 20-footer. Bullseye, Dominique. Dominique has 11. He's off and running again. Front court, Ray Williams. 37-30, Boston by 7. McHale low. Spins the short jumper up and no good. Rebound is tipped and taken away by Buckner. Lost it out of bounds. But Charlie, if Atlanta continues to let the Boston big men set up that down low, they can't stop them.
They can't. They really can't. It doesn't matter how many guys you send at the guy with the ball, because somebody's going to be open, and they're such a good passing team, they're going to hurt you.
You got to front a guy. You can't let him set up 3 or 4 feet from the basket like McHale's been doing. Left wing, Dominique takes McHale to the lane. The jumper is short. Rebound, tied up, Dominique and Greg Kite.
Not a good shot by Dominique. Kevin McHale's a good defensive player. If you're going to beat Kevin, use your foot speed and go to the basket hard, because Dominique has the speed to beat Kevin McHale going to the basket.
The jump ball will be at the Atlanta foul line. Dominique easily gets a tip over Greg Kite. Down low, Ricky Brown's jumper is good. Ricky Brown. Atlanta trying to hang tough, down by 5, 37-32. Buckner front court, played by Rivers. Here's Ray Williams, down low McHale. McHale gets doubled and knocked away. Good steal by Rivers. Rivers comes out running, lost it, but it's picked up by Dominique. 2-on-1, Dominique, his pass batted away, knocked free and picked up by Rivers, who gets the layup.
That was like like soccer. That's the ball was being knocked around all over the place.
But Charlie, I wish you'd become a scout and diagram that play for me. Ray Williams front court. 9:35 remaining in the first half, and Atlanta down by 3, and Boston calls time. I don't know the reason, but I told you before the game, and I'm telling you now, Atlanta plays Boston tough, and I don't know the reason for it. There is a timeout on the floor. Timeout with the score: Boston 37 and the Hawks 34. John Sterling back with our analyst Charlie Chris, and Charlie will try to explain in detail the last play.
Here it is. It gets kicked by Doc Rivers, goes into the front court. It goes to Dominique, and he sees there's a 2-on-1 break with Scott Wedman back. And that's it.
Very nice job. Ray Williams front court for the Celtics. Wedman up top with a long bomb, no good. Rebound Parrish. His jumper is short. Rebound Scotty Hastings. Atlanta could have had a 3-on-1, but Hastings stopped dribbling. Eddie ahead for Dominique from the corner. He drills it again. Dominique has 13. And Atlanta now trails by 1, 37-36. Atlanta has scored 8 in a row. Down low for McHale. He gets doubled. He spins away and walks and lays it.
He did walk. He surely walked.
McHale got away with one then. Front court, here's Eddie Johnson. Eddie, the lead, and shot no good, but there will be a foul, a 2-shot foul on the play.
Eddie took a good fall that time for his efforts. He takes Quinn Buckner, and Quinn gets him with the body, and Quinn has a big body to get you with you.
Eddie has scored 5, and he can bring the Hawks within 1 again. His first is good. .8:53 remaining in the half. Foul shot is good. 39-38. It's a 1-point lead for the Celtics as the Hawks play him tough again. Dennis Johnson comes front court. It's kind of a fun game. Larry Bird has come back, and he receives the pass. Down low, McHale. His hook is short. Rebound, Ricky Brown. Boy, they are going to McHale on every play. Out of the backcourt comes Eddie. McHale has missed some shots. He normally hits all the time. He's getting great position. Rivers on the drive off to Ricky Brown. On the wing, Neek. His jumper is long. Rebound, Hastings. Good offensive position. He got pushed by McHale. It'll be a non-shooting foul.
Good position by Scott. Great position. I mean, he moved McHale right out from under the basket and got the rebound. There was no way Kevin McHale could get that rebound. Scott went under the basket. A good example of good boxing out.
Yes, sir. Up top, here's Rivers. Atlanta could take the lead with a hoop. Rivers on the drive. His jumper is missed, and the rebound taken away by McHale. Out of the backcourt comes Ainge. Ainge and Dennis Johnson now with Parrish, Bird, and McHale. The #1 team is reunited, and Dennis Johnson misses a shot. Rebound, Bird. Bird on the baseline. Oh. Great pass. Oh, what a pass. Great Larry pass. Bird to McHale.
He passed that ball from behind Scott Hastings back to McHale for the layup.
Some pass by Larry Bird. That's what I mean. He invents. He is the great inventor. Here's Eddie off a Hastings pick. 18-footer. Bullseye again. Eddie Johnson has 9 in the game. And Boston leads by 1, 41-40. Front court, Dennis Johnson lost it out of bounds, and Atlanta will get it back. Kevin Willis will come in. I want to say hello to Mary Needle, beautiful wife of our PR director Bill Needle, watching tonight, and also the beautiful girls in Norcross, Beth and Stacy. Of course, Janice. Front court, here comes Doc Rivers. 7:25 remaining in the first half. Atlanta could take the lead with a hoop. Rivers up top for Hastings. Now swing it. Left wing, Dominique on the drive. The runner is no good. Rebound taken away by Danny Ainge. Ainge comes across. Ainge will pull up and take the jumper. Way long. It is a wild game, but a fun game. And here's Rivers front court. The pass is kicked. Atlanta gets a new 24 and the ball. Just under 7 minutes, 6:59 remaining on the halftime clock. Boston by 1, 41-40. Atlanta playing tonight without Sly Williams, Mike Glenn, and Tree Rollins, all back home injured. And Boston without Cedric Maxwell and ML Carr. Rivers front court. He's on the right wing, and out Eddie off the Hastings pick. Eddie drives. The runner is goaltended by Parrish. Another great play by Eddie. Now Eddie has 11.
Good quickness to the basket. The ball hits his glass, and Robert Parrish hits it off the glass.
Atlanta by 1, 42-41. Atlanta was down 37-20. Here's Dominique almost stealing. Bird recovers. Great sends the pass down to Parrish down low, and there's another foul on Atlanta. Well, I tell you what, if you're open for a second, Bird finds you.
Oh, he'll definitely find you. He does not hesitate about passing the ball to open guys.
Ainge front court. Ainge looking down low for McHale. Has him low again. The hook is good. He's getting great position, and he can't miss from there. Dominique, his jumper is missed. Rebound Ainge. Boston by 1. Ainge tears up the floor. Bird out of the left corner. The bomb is good.
See, Dominique has to concentrate on getting back also. Concentrate on his shot, but make sure that he gets back because Bird is taking off after the rebound, and Dominique has to get back.
See, you can take off if you know your team's going to rebound the ball. When you got those guys around the basket, you can be pretty sure of it. Rivers off a Hastings pick in the lane right. Rivers, the runner, is backed up too hard. Rebound tip taken away by Parrish. Here's a lead for Ainge. 4-on-1. The layup by Dennis Johnson's good. Dennis Johnson on the end of a break gets a layup, and Atlanta calls time. There is a timeout on the floor. A timeout with the score Boston 47 and Atlanta 42. Because Boston will hit you with great blitzes, and they were starting to hit.
That's right, and you look at the clock, the score was 42-41 in Atlanta, and now they're down 5 points. That's how quick they can do it.
It happens in moments. 47-42, Boston by 5.5 remaining in the first half. Antoine Carr back in. He cuts left, stops at the foul line. He had the jumper. He's not a bad outside shooter either. Dominique lost it out of bounds. Last touch by Larry Bird. Atlanta gets the ball back with 7 on the shot clock. Atlanta has to get a shot off in 7 seconds. John Sterling, Charlie Chris here from Nolans. Hawks and Celtics bring it into Dominique. Dominique outside Eddie. He drives the gap. The runner is blocked. He got fouled. It'll be a 2-shot foul.
I didn't think they were going to call it at first. He got his hand. He sure did.
Larry Bird got him from behind. With 3 minutes remaining in New York, Phoenix leads the Knicks 110-106. 3 minutes remaining in Indiana. New Jersey leads the Pacers by 101-100. 7 minutes remaining in the first half. Chicago leads Detroit 48-32. At halftime, Houston leads Denver 70-59. And at the half, Portland leads Kansas City 59-57. Foul shots are good by Edward. He has 13. He and Dominique each have 13. And Boston's lead is only 3, 47-44. 5:10 remaining in a good first half. Down low, 2-man game. Parrish. His turnaround baseline long. Rebound, Kevin Willis. Atlanta rebounding well tonight on the defensive glass. Eddie ahead for Carr, who drives and lays it up, and no good. They drew the foul. Charlie, we are waiting when Antoine Carr really becomes a top-flight pro player, because, boy, does he have some offensive ability.
He really does, and this is his time because he's getting a lot of playing time. He's getting to show exactly what he's made of and what he can do. And he goes to the basket very, very strong. And he jumps so well that he could just hang there, draw the foul, and he's strong enough to keep the ball and get it up to the hoop.
Carr has great offensive talent because he can dribble the ball on his own. He can handle it well enough to get to the basket. And he is 6'9" and about 240. He also can drill outside, too. Carr misses the first foul shot. He has one more. Antoine has hit it. Carr has 7 in the game, and Atlanta trails by 2. Boston has Danny Ainge and Dennis Johnson, and the front line now of Scott Wedman, Larry Bird, Robert Parrish, McHale out with 3 fouls. Wedman head of the key. Off the pick comes DJ driving. In the lane, his shot is blocked. He got fouled going up. It'll be a 2-shot foul.
Dennis Johnson, another strong guard who plays bigger than his 6'4", 6'5" would normally recommend. And he draws the foul on Doc Rivers, even though Kevin Willis got the block.
Boston doesn't have a deep team, but when Maxwell comes back, Then McHale comes off the bench. Wedman comes off the bench. And when Ray Williams gets in shape, he'll be coming off the bench. And that's a pretty solid 8-man crew. And eight is enough, I think, to win a championship.
Well, it is. It is. If you go any deeper than 8, but a lot of times, I tell you what, if you go with 9 or 10 guys during the season, it's not a good idea, I don't feel, to when the playoffs start to cut that down to 8 or 7 guys.
But Boston, of course, doesn't. They go usually with 7 guys. Dominique, left wing up top for Willis. 1 of 2 made by DJ, and it's 48-45, Boston by 3. Rivers up top. Eddie, open pop from the head of the key is good. Eddie Johnson has 15. He has 10 this period, and Atlanta trails by 1. Hawks are really playing Boston tough again. Posting DJ. Down low for the turnaround. It is no good. Rebound. Parrish. Big rebound. Parrish sends it back outside. Knocked away by Dominique. Taken by Eddie. And Eddie got fouled in the backcourt, and that's too bad. In other words, the Hawks are angry at that foul being called. You see Mike Fratello jumping up and down because Atlanta had a 4-on-1. There's Mike kind of smiling, but it's not a sincere smile.
Because a lot of referees would not have made that call. They would have let that one go.
Eddie Johnson, who has been brilliant again tonight against Boston. What an amazing psychological mental game this is. You got to talk about that. Really Why aren't the Hawks playing this way against other teams?
Well, because the other teams aren't the Boston Celtics. That's the reason. And like I've said before, when you play against the best, it brings out the best in you.
Eddie makes the first to tie the game. He rolls in the second. Eddie has 17 points, 12 in this period, and Atlanta leads 49-48. 4 minutes remaining in the first half. Atlanta playing tough ball. Wedman outside hits the shot. He's a great jump shooter, Scott Wedman.
Antoine has to come up on Scott Wedman, make him put the ball in.
Rivers on the drive against Ainge. He went right by Ainge and knocked it in. If you like basketball, you got to love this game. This is a tremendous athletic talent game. Hawks by 1, 51-50. Ainge in the lane. His off-balance jumper is short. Rebound, Dominique going sky high. Get it ahead for Eddie. A lead for Rivers driving. Cross court for Willis, knocked away. Recovered by Rivers. The layup is no good. He got fouled. A 2-shot foul. And the Hawks, the baby birds, are playing with drive and spirit and elan and panache.
They're playing their games. Doc picks it up. And he was mugged. He wasn't just fat.
Wedman draws the foul. Rivers has missed the first. 3:32 remaining in the half. Atlanta by 1, 51-50. Hey, by the way, we have a tremendous halftime feature. Tell you about it when we have a chance. Rivers has knocked the second one in. Doc makes 1 of 2. He has 7 in the game. And Atlanta leads by 2, 52-50. In front court, Dennis Johnson. DJ, his pass knocked away by Rivers and knocked out of bounds by Rivers and Bird. It'll be Boston ball. And yes, that is part of Larry Bird's makeup. He dives like he was trying to earn a job in spring training. And by the way, he doesn't have to worry. He has a job. Ainge way outside DJ. Now off the pick comes Bird. The long jumper, no. Rebound, knocked out and picked up by Dennis Johnson. Down low, Parrish, the layup is good. Parrish has 4 in the game. Eddie, a lead for Dominique. Driving Dominique to the rim. Oh, what a drive by Dominique.
Great move. That's that hang time.
Dominique has 15. Atlanta by 2 in a brilliant game. Down low, Bird. His layup is good. Basket counts. He got fouled. Larry Bird. Bird has 16 in the game. Charlie, we're very lucky. This is the 3rd television game we've had against Boston. They've all been beauties.
They have. And Dominique cannot come around so they can pass the ball to the inside of him to Bird in the lane because too many things can happen. Like that time, Antoine picked up the foul. Dominique has to stay behind him and then get help from the guards coming back down.
Bird's foul shot is good. He has 17 in the game. 55-54, Boston by 1. 2:51 remaining in the half. Eddie has a high pick from Carr. Goes away from the pick. Dennis Johnson knocked it away. Eddie regains. Eddie now will send down low for Carr. He lost it out of bounds. He had a drive. He saw Parrish and was making up his mind what he was going to do with the ball. Take the jumper or go right at Parrish.
Excuse me. I think it was a case of him trying to do something before he got it.
Antoine Carr leaves. He's replaced by Cliff Livingston. Dennis Johnson, front court. DJ up top. Off the pick comes Bird for the bob. Got it again. Larry Bird. Bird comes off pick shooting. He has the ball in the air before you can get near him. Boston by 3, 57-54, 2:15 in a terrific first half of basketball. Eddie cutting left, off to Dominique. He fakes it. No shot. Down low for Willis, posted. Back to Dominique for the three-point try. It is no good. Long rebound. Rivers tried to steal it. Taken away by Dennis Johnson. Ahead, Eddie steals it from Bird. Eddie lost it, and it goes out of bounds. Last touch by the Hawks. It'll be Boston ball. Bird will bring it in. 1:57 remaining in the half. Boston by 3, 57-54. Ainge, right corner. Bird got fouled by Kevin Willis.
Kevin had Larry Bird in a little neck hug. That's all. Wasn't much contact.
Finals tonight in the NBA. Phoenix beats New York 123-119. And New Jersey beats Indiana 109-108. Bird has 2, and Lawrence, a great foul shooter. What else makes the first? Bird has 20 in the game to lead all scorers. In the second half, I'll tell you what departments Bird leads the Celtics in. It's amazing. Foul shot is good. Bird has 21. Boston leads by 5, 59-54. 1:50 remaining in the half. John Sterling, Charlie Chris from campus of the University of New Orleans. Rivers up top now for Willis. Kevin's 18-footer is short. Rebound taken away by Danny Ainge. Ainge and the Celtics come out running. Left corner, Dennis Johnson open and hits it. Boston by 7. Across comes Rivers, and he now slows down and brings the dribble outside. Boston by 7, 61-54. Boy, they hit you with spurts, don't they? Off the pick comes Eddie, right wing. Eddie goes baseline. His drive is good. A great drive, Eddie Johnson.
Great move by Eddie. With the left hand.
Eddie Johnson has 19 in the game, and he has 14 this period. Bird posted right. He's doubled, gets cross court for the open Dennis Johnson jumper good. Boy, if you double Bird, are you going to pay for it?
Yes, you will.
And pay for it right away. He doesn't waste any time. Under a minute remaining in the half. Boston by 7, 63-56. Eddie, great pass to Livingston. He got fouled, knocks it in. Bird got Livingston. There's a great pick and roll pass. Livingston imperceptibly set the pick and rolled and got it right back. What a pass.
If Cliff doesn't roll, the whole play is not even possible. And a great, now that shows Cliff's strength also.
Yes,
get
sir.
that ball up there after Bird grabbed his whole arm.
What a beautiful bounce pass by Eddie Johnson. A great pick and roll pass. That Eddie can make the pick and roll pass. Boy. Foul shot, Livingston is way off. Rebound tipped by Willis, no good. Rebound Parrish. Boston by 5, 63-58. 40 seconds remaining in the half. DJ comes cross. Bird posted. Back to the basket. Looks. Now takes the jumper instead. No good. He drew the foul from Dominique. It'll be a 2-shot foul.
Oh, boy.
Larry Bird will go the line for 2. You see Ron Rothstein conferring with Mike Fratello. Ron and Brendan Sir, Mike's assistants. 33 seconds remaining in the half. Larry Bird makes. Hey, did you notice that Bob Reinhardt, the ex-Hawk assistant coach, now the top gun at Georgia State, just signed a top-flight prospect?
Yes.
Didn't take him long, did it?
Sure didn't.
Bob Reinhardt's going to make Georgia State hum, just like Bobby Cremins did at Tech. Larry Bird makes his foul shots. Larry Bird, not a bad half. He has 23 points. 65-58, Boston by 7. Atlanta will run the clock down as far as they can, but they can't run it all the way. The difference will be about 8 seconds. All right, Rivers outside. It's a 1-4 set. The last time, at the end of the first Bird, Rivers went right around Ainge. Now Rivers, off the pick comes Eddie. Down low Willis, who takes the short jump hook, no good. Rebound Parrish, 10 seconds remaining. Boston will get another shot and a good one. In front court, Dennis Johnson wheels to the baseline. Back to Bird, rolling. The hook, no good. Rebound Rivers at the buzzer. And at the end of one half of play, a tremendous offensive first half for both teams. At the half, Boston 65 and the Atlanta Hawks 58. come out with Randy Whitman and Eddie Johnson on the back line. Dominique Wilkins, Antoine Carr, and Kevin Willis up front. Give you Boston in just a moment. Here's Dominique up top for Carr. Carr played by McHale. McHale 3 fouls, remember. Down low, Dominique stolen by Ainge. Good steal. He stole the dribble off the Whitman pass. Ainge and Dennis Johnson the backcourt with Larry Bird, Robert Parrish, and Kevin McHale. All right, Dennis Johnson outside being pursued by Eddie. DJ now right of the key has Bird in the corner. Two-man game, Bird and Parrish. Bird goes to the foul line, sends down low, stolen by Carr. Carr comes out 3-on-1. Carr will take it to the hole and jam. And he has some talent at 6'9", 240.
He really does. And once he goes up and has that authority, nobody's going to try to get that shot because he just goes up there. And I mean, he's way up.
You see how well he handles the ball, though? He dribbles it like a much smaller player. In front court, posted up high is Parrish. Off to Bird for the open 20-footer. It's good. You can't give him that shot. You give him that shot, it's in the well.
That's right.
Bird has 25. Dominique on the drive, pulls up with a short jumper and drills it. Dominique has 17 in the game at 67-62. Boston by 5. A great tempo to this game. Tremendous offensive tempo for both teams. Both teams running and getting good shots, not running aimlessly. Parrish, his right side jumper is good. One thing about Boston, they just have a darn good shooting ball club. Here is Whitman on the drive, leaning in. His short jumper is good. That's the in-between shot I talked about.
That's a tough shot to make. It shows you what kind of touch Randy Whitman has to make that kind of shot consistently.
And that really is his shot, that in-between shot. Here's Dennis Johnson front court. Bird cutting without the... Oh, what a pass. Parrish lost it. The great inventor strikes again. Bird got it, and without a moment's hesitation threw a behind-his-body bounce pass.
And it was a blind pass. I mean, he just knew. He didn't even look at Parrish. He knew Parrish was going to be there. And that also comes from playing together, knowing each other's moves.
Well, what a great passer. What a great passer. I tell you, he and Magic have really revolutionized this game. Two guys 6'9" who can pass that way.
Yes, indeed.
They have made passing a rediscovered art. If anyone tells you the pros don't pass anymore, laugh in their face. They don't know what they're talking about. Here's Ainge, right wing. On the drive, his runner is no good. Rebound, Kevin Willis. By the way, Michael Jordan of Chicago can pass that way too. Dominique fakes it, and he got fouled by Bird, a two-shot foul.
And don't forget Isaiah.
He passes fairly well, but at least he's a guard. He's kind of prototypical. But
Bird and Magic are guards.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are.
Really are. Good fake by Dominique. Bird just reached back and just whacked him.
Bird and Magic Johnson are really point guards who rebound the ball.
That's right.
Dominique gets a couple of foul shots. Atlanta down by only 5, 69-64, and the first foul shot missed by Neek. 10 minutes on the nose left in the third period.
The only difference with Bird is he doesn't play the point guard. That's all. Which he could play the point if he had to.
He handles it an awful lot.
Yes.
Dominique makes 1 of 2. He has 18. Atlanta trails now by 4, 69-65. Terrific game. Good fans game. Way outside McHale. Played by Antoine up top. Off the right side pick comes DJ. Drives left in the lane. The fall away is short. Rebound tipped and taken away by Dennis Johnson. In the corner, Bird. Left corner jumper is no good. Rebound, Dennis Johnson. Dennis in the lane. His short jumper is no good. Rebound, McHale. That's where they kill you. Rebound, no good. Rebound, no good. Rebound, Parrish knocked away. Dennis Johnson in the lane. The layup is no good. Rebound taken by Eddie. Here's a 2-on-1. Eddie will go past Ainge. The layup is blocked. He got fouled. A two-shot foul. And once Eddie saw Ainge back, he took it right to the hole.
And I tell you what, they had about 5 shots at the hoop. And you cannot continue to give them 5 shots. And Eddie's quickness, it just took over and took control of Danny Ainge. Eddie attacked Danny Ainge offensively.
Yes, he did. Eddie on the line for 2, and the Hawks could pull within 2. Eddie's first is good, and fast Edward has 20 in the game. He had 19 in the first half. 69-66, Boston by 3. Foul shot, Edward good. Boston by a deuce, 69-67. 9:18 remaining in the third period. Dennis Johnson up top. Stops his dribble, slightly right of the key. Finds Ainge outside. Now on the right wing, Bird down low, Parrish for the turnaround fake. And there's a foul on Atlanta. It's on Randy Whitman coming over to double up. Whitman second, and second on the team. Boston also has 2 team fouls. The pass in is tipped away by the Hawks and stolen by Antoine Carr. Eddie out of the backcourt. Atlanta can tie with a hoop. Outside Eddie, and the Hawks set up. It's a 1-4 set for the Hawks. Off the right side pick, Dominique. Dominique looking for Willis down low. Now Dominique down low for Kevin Willis. In the corner, Dominique for the open 20-footer. Bullseye! And we're all tied. Dominique has 20. And we're tied at 69. And the Hawks continue to play Boston as tough as they want to be played. Inexplicable maybe, but it's true. It's happened all year. Bird down low, Dennis Johnson posted. Baseline jumper, short. Rebound, Kevin Willis. Atlanta could take the lead. Atlanta runs 4 on 3. Eddie, great steal by Ainge. Dennis Johnson never went up court. He'll get a layup, and there it is. Boston by 2, 71-69. 8:13 remaining in a terrific game.
Eddie tried to make that pass on the run using one hand. With the Celtics, it's hard to do. You have to make sure you have full control.
Eddie Johnson left side drives right hard in the lane. He went up and got fouled, a 2-shot foul. Now when Eddie drove the lane, when he made that little turn, he never really thought he was going to get a shot up. But he really thought he was going to get fouled, and he did.
Right. That's exactly right. Yep, he knew that shot would never get to the basket.
Larry Bird has just drawn his 4th foul, and now he goes over to Billy Sarr, and Sarr corrects the foul call.
Yeah, it wasn't Bird.
It was not on Bird, it was on Dennis Johnson. Now Hugh Evans is coming over, and Hugh Evans is telling Scott Webman to come back in the game. Hugh Evans is saying to Scott Webman, you can come back in the game because it was on Bird. Well, Bird leaves. Scott Webman comes in. And we have to find out whether Bird has 4 or 3. That's a big moment in the game.
It was on Dennis Johnson.
What Mike Fratello is doing is putting up 2 threes. That's what he said the referee said. 33 is Bird. 3 is Dennis Johnson. Well, Bird comes out. I don't know who the foul was on. Foul shot by Eddie is good. I guess it wasn't on Bird because Bird's coming back on the floor.
It was on Dennis Johnson.
But Bird comes on the floor. Robert Parrish leaves. And Bird has only 3 fouls. Remember that. Bird has 3. Eddie has made his first. He has 22. All right, Eddie Johnson can tie the game for the Hawks. He does not. Rebound, Kevin McHale. Just under 8 minutes remaining in the third. Boston by 1, 71-70. Dennis Johnson comes across. DJ head of the key. On the left wing, Wedman down low. Bird. He gets away from the steal. The layup is good.
You have to make sure you can get the steal and don't just reach because Bird is just too smart.
Antoine Carr down low. Spins. Bird fakes him and jams. Antoine Carr has 11. And Boston by 1, 73-72. Dennis Johnson front court. DJ, a long left side jumper is good. I'll tell you what, Atlanta only 3 points down, and Boston shooting the lights out. Down low, Willis for the turnaround hook. It's no good. Rebound knocked away and knocked out of bounds. Last touch by Carr. It'll be Boston basketball.
Antoine's playing very hard.
Yes, he is, and very well, too. Out of the backcourt, Danny Ainge. Ainge and Dennis Johnson with Wedman, McHale, and Bird. Doc Rivers will get back for the Hawks. Off the pick comes Bird. He drives right, dishes it up, no good. Rebound, tip, taken by Wedman. His jumper blocked by Willis. McHale gets the rebound, lays it in. McHale in double figures with 12, and Eddie Johnson comes across. Atlanta will call a 20-second timeout. So Atlanta calls at 20. 6:43 remaining in the third. Boston by 5 against 77-72. Mike Fratello did not want to give up his only 20 in the second half, but he wanted to stop Boston from getting another spurt, and that's exactly what he did. Finals in the NBA tonight. Phoenix defeated New York in New York, 123-119. New Jersey defeated Indiana in Indiana, 109-108. At the half, Chicago leads Detroit 49-46. And right now, Atlanta will call a full timeout. There is a timeout on the floor and the score. Boston 77 and Atlanta 72. Well, a great night for Barry Mendelson. The gentleman was lost quite a bit on bringing the Hawks in here to New Orleans. The guarantee was very high. Tonight, a big crowd, probably paying pretty good money. A crowd of 10,100, about 20 people less than 10,100. Sellout crowd. Atlanta down by 5, 77-72 with 6:40 remaining in the third period. Dominique outside. Doc Rivers now. Whitman in the backcourt. Here's Dominique on the drive. The runner is banked up and in. What a tough shot by Dominique.
Very tough shot. Leaning forward off the glass. Good touch.
Dominique has 22. Set the lineups for you. Dennis Johnson and Ainge the backcourt with McHale driving. McHale blocked by Dominique. Oh, what a block. Dominique in front court. Neek. Left wing. Neek. His pass batted away by Ainge. Boston has a 3-on-none. McHale will get a layup.
Just a case of getting a little too excited, trying to do a little too much. Dominic just made a mistake after the great block.
79-74. Boston again by 5. The Hawks really hanging tough against, frankly, a much better team. In fact, the best in the world, Boston Celtics. Just under 6 minutes remaining in the third. Down low, Dominique. He drives. His layup is good. I'll tell you one thing about Boston. Dominique cannot be stopped against the Celtics. He has really tuned them up this year. Front court, here's Bird in the corner. Right corner, Bird. Backs in. Posted up, Bird. Takes the jumper and hits it.
Tell you what, they've tuned each other up this year. Dominique and Bird.
Bird has 29. Brilliant as always. Whitman front court. 5-point Boston lead, 81-76. Rivers on the drive, gets in the lane, dishes off. Oh, what a pass by Rivers.
Great pass.
There's a penetration and pass by Rivers, and Willis gets the basket. It is really amazing how Atlanta plays against Boston every game this year. McHale way outside. Off the pick comes DJ for the standing jumper, in and out. Rebound McHale. His rebound batted away by Whitman from behind. McHale is 6'10", and his arms are about 6'11". McHale can play at a height of just about 7 feet or more with those arms.
That's true. He gets a lot of rebounds just standing under the basket, raising his arms up.
Atlanta resting Dominique, brings in Cliff Livingston. Here's Bird, left wing. Larry, left wing, looking for McHale low. Now Bird on the drive. Falls back for the jumper, short. And the rebound taken away by Carr. Atlanta can close within one with a hoop. Willis down low. Takes the move and misses the shot. Rebound McHale. Outlet pass gets jammed, but he gets it off to DJ. A lead for Bird front court. Bird shoots the jumper right side. Good.
Nobody played him. He dribbled the ball and just froze everybody. Everybody just ran away from Larry Bird. Can't run away from Bird.
Bird has 31. Antoine Carr posted up top for Eddie's jumper. Bullseye. Eddie Johnson has 24. This is one of the best games of the year. This is the third time Atlanta has played Boston in this kind of a game. What a, tremendous fans game. Two teams full of great athletes going at each other. Off the pick comes Whitman with a long jumper. Good.
He's a shooter.
I don't know. I just love this game. Boston by 5, 85-80. Rivers on the drive. Off to Carr. Carr knocked away and stolen by Danny Ainge. Ainge streaks up for a lead for Wedman. The layup is good. A beautiful bounce pass by Ainge. A beautiful lead bounce pass off the dribble by Ainge. And the Hawks take time. There is a timeout on the floor. A timeout with the score. Boston 87 and Atlanta 80. John Sterling and Charlie Crist back at Lakefront Arena in New Orleans. A terrific rock'em sock'em entertaining game. Two teams, Charlie just going after one another and scoring almost every time down.
And it's a great game for if you're here just watching the game or on TV. It's a great game to watch.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. If you root for an upset, that's one thing. If you root for Boston, another thing. But if you just like basketball, what a tremendous game. Eddie Johnson and Dominique each have 24 for Atlanta. Boston led by Larry Bird's 31. Dennis Johnson has 15 and McHale has 14. Mike Fratello called another timeout just to stop the Boston momentum. Off the pick and roll, Dominique open, has missed the jumper. Rebound taken away by Robert Parrish. Parrish is in with Wedman and Bird. McHale is being rested in the backcourt of Ray Williams and Danny Ainge. Give you Atlanta in a moment. 3:15 remaining in the third. Bird posted left, takes the jumper and hits it again. Boston by 9. Larry Bird is just unconscious. Eddie on the drive. Behind his back in the lane. What a move by Eddie. Missed it. Rebound. Livingston fakes it. Lays it up and in. Count the basket. He got fouled on the play. Cliff Livingston, after a great Eddie drive, the ball rolled out. And there's an offensive rebounder right there, Cliff Livingston.
And that's what Cliff Livingston does as well as anybody. Is offensive rebound. He gets fouled, puts it back in. And tell you what, the Hawks are staying alive now because they're being aggressive.
Very, very aggressive. You know, Livingston is really under 6'7". He's not as tall as he's listed. He gets offensive rebounds through great hustle and the instinct to go to the glass. Misses the foul shot. Boston ball up by 7, 89-82. Ray Williams down low for Bird, who feels it and takes it and drills it again. He's unbelievable.
I mean, he just shoots it straight up and it comes straight through the hole.
Larry Bird is feeling it like the great shooters feel it. Livingston down low takes a jumper and hits it. A tough jumper for Cliff Livingston.
He says, I can do it too, Larry.
Not that real kind of a shooter. Bird, by the way, has 35 in the game. Bird is setting up. They're isolating Bird low post. Now he goes back door, knocked away by Livingston. Bird had a step, but the ball was knocked away by Livingston. Eddie, front court. Eddie down low. Livingston for the jumper.
Short.
This is short, and the rebound is knocked out of bounds by Doc Rivers.
Not a good shot.
Boston leads by 7, 91-84. But you're right, they get caught up in the action, do something good, and then want to do something. Out of the backcourt now comes Ray Williams. 2:05 remaining in the third. Bird for the bomb. Got it again, a three-pointer. You're seeing the greatest in the game, Larry Bird. And there are people like Bob Cousy, Casey Jones, Red Auerbach, who think he's the best ever.
He's a player. He's definitely a player.
Larry Bird has 38. Is he phenomenal or what? Here's Eddie left wing. Boston by 10. Eddie a three. He missed it. Rebound. Scott Webber. Ahead for Ainge driving. Ainge cross court. Ray Williams. A three-point try. No good. Rebound. Doc Rivers. Rivers drives up the floor. Knocked away by Williams. Foul by Williams. It'll be a shooting foul. Boston's over the limit.
I tell you what, Ray is very, very good at anticipating and stealing the ball. And when he was with New York, him and Michael Ray were two of the best defensive guards to play the game together. I mean, and they made it tough on the opposing players.
On the line for two, Doc Rivers. A minute 28. Yeah, the Hawks really needed that foul and these foul shots because Boston is on the verge, Charlie. You know it.
That's right, they are. They're on the verge of blowing this thing wide open.
When the green wave gets rolling, boy, it's very tough to stop that.
Very, very tough.
I think in your time you've seen the green wave roll a bit.
Yeah, a whole bunch of times.
A whole bunch
I've seen them roll.
Rivers has missed the first. He has one more. This foul shot's good. Doc has 8 in the game. Boston by 9, 94-85. Minute 25. Here's a Rivers steal off Ainge. He jams. And that could bring the Hawks back in the game. There's a great steal by Rivers. He took the dribble away and got a layup. 94-87.
Good defense.
Ainge comes across. Left wing, Wedman. Wedman, left side is doubled. Hawks doubling the ball. Ray Williams drives the middle. He lost the ball. Parrish picked it up. He got fouled. It'll be a 2-shot foul. You see the Hawk coaches, Mike Rotella, Ron Rothstein, Brendan Searle up. They were trying to get a walk or something. They were trying to steal a walk or something.
And on that play, Ray Williams is in shape. He goes to the basket and creates problems. This is Doc Rivers' steal. I mean, Danny Ainge just put the ball right in front of him. He just told him, say, here, Doc, take it. And Doc said, I'll take it.
And he did. Bird stays the game. McHale comes back in for a Wedman. If you think that Casey Jones plays his top players a lot, you're right. And they thrive. They thrive like roses in bloom under it. Parrish has made both foul shots. Robert has 8 in the game. Boston again by 9, 96-87. Just under a minute remaining in the third. Rivers across. Ricky Brown, the receiver. Now on the wing for Eddie Johnson. They go down low, Dominique. Neek gets doubled up. Back outside Eddie. Cross court, Rivers. He'll try a three and miss it. Rebound, Rivers. Drives, goes underneath for Hastings. Now to Dominique. The layup is no good. Rebound, Parrish. Parrish, outlet pass, McHale. 2-on-1 with Bird. Bird's layup is good. and a fine pass by McHale.
The Hawks can't keep shooting these three-point shots. They could get a better shot than that, because when they miss, the Celtics just take off and they get easy layups like that one.
All right, Boston is a great team. 50-14, the reigning world's champion. And now they're really showing it. They lead Atlanta by 11, 98-87. 15 seconds remaining in the quarter. Dominique off the pick. He drives in the lane. The lefty hook is good. A lefty hook by Dominique. Dominique has 26. Bird with 8 seconds. Bird on the drive. The runner is good again. You're seeing a greater performance as you'll ever see from Larry Bird. Front court Eddie at the three-quarter buzzer. No good. A sellout crowd. A sellout crowd has been turned on by the great Larry Bird and Kevin McHale and the Boston Celtics. And at the end of 3 quarters of play, the score: the Celtics 100 and the Hawks 89. John Sterling, Charlie Chris. We have a discussion at the table of whether Bird has 42 or 44 points. What's the difference? He's a phenomenal player playing at his very best. Charlie Chris, during the period between the third and fourth quarter, said to me, "Was that an unbelievable shot?" And here's a guy Charlie Chris has played for a number of years.
That was absolutely fantastic. It's hard to imagine him going in the lane like that and shooting the ball straight up over Kevin Willis and straight down.
Bird scored 48 against Atlanta earlier this year. That's the game Dominique had 47, and Atlanta lost in the last split-second tip-in by Kevin McHale. Bird is on the bench as we begin the quarter. Well, I'll go with my total, and if I'm wrong, I'm sorry. Ray Williams front court. Boston by 11, 189. That's the only important stat, really. Boston by 11. Rivers steals the pass intended for McHale. Out of the backcourt comes Eddie. Eddie J on the drive. No shot there. Hastings takes it up top and misses it. Rebound jammed in by Kevin Willis. Kevin Willis gets the basket. And in front court, here's Dennis Johnson. DJ front court. The shot is no good by Webben. Rebound taken away by Willis. Get it ahead now for Eddie. Eddie front court. He slips and falls down, retains his balance. Off to Hastings. The jumper is good. Hastings gets the roll. And the Hawks try to scratch their way back, and Boston calls time.
And John has spooked his coat.
The Hawks try to scratch their way back, and there's a timeout on the floor. The score: Boston 100 and Atlanta 93. John Sterling, Charlie Chris, back at Lakefront Arena. A sold-out crowd seeing an electrifying game. A wild end-to-end. Great offensive show led by Larry Bird's 44 points. Out of the backcourt, Dennis Johnson sends it ahead for Ray Williams. Atlanta has scratched back. They're down by 7, 193. 11 minutes remaining in the game. Ray Williams front court. He and Dennis Johnson in the backcourt with Parrish, Wedman, and McHale. Wedman's jumper is good again.
You have to make, excuse me, John. You have to make Scott Webben put the ball on the floor and beat you going to the basket. Get him to make a move on you.
Because he is a great outside shooter. He comes off picks and he comes off shooting. Scott Hastings and Dominique Wilkins along with Kevin Willis up front. Rivers and Eddie the backcourt. Eddie head of the key. Give it off to Rivers on the drive. Is reverse is no good. Good drive by Rivers. He left it short. Ray Williams front court. Boston by 9, 102-93. Bird getting his rest. He'll be back. The pass was intended for Wedman, and he regains it after Parrish tipped it by mistake. Wedman in the corner. Another jumper. Good again.
Kevin has to come out and play him. Don't let him take a jump shot. Come out and play him. Make him pass the ball.
And Atlanta now calls timeout. So there is a timeout on the floor. Timeout with a score. Boston 104 and Atlanta 93. On the NBA scoreboard tonight, we have these finals. On the NBA scoreboard tonight, these finals, New York was beaten by Phoenix. That was at the Garden in New York, 123-119. Indiana at home was beaten by New Jersey, 109-108. At the end of 3, Detroit leads Chicago by 2, 78-76. That's in Chicago. And in Houston tonight with 8 minutes remaining in the 4th. That's a very big game. Houston leads Denver 111-103. Denver has a 4-game lead over Houston, and if Denver would win that game, they would have a 5-game lead with about 17 to go. They just about would wrap up the Midwest unless they collapsed. But if Houston wins tonight, well, it's down to 3, and it's be a battle perhaps down to the wire. Anyway, with 8 minutes remaining, Houston leads by 8, 111-103, playing at home. Another final is in as Kansas City beat Portland 120-114. And later tonight, San Antonio and Golden State, and Utah in LA against the Lakers. When the Hawks come home after this long road trip, it'll be Friday, March 22nd, and Atlanta will play Kansas City, the team that beat Portland tonight, with some exciting offensive players of their own: LaSalle Thompson, Eddie Johnson, Reggie Theus, and company. And that'll be the second and final rap night of the year for the Hawks. The first rap night sold out. That was against Cleveland. Run DMC will be the feature of the rap night on Friday, March 22nd. There are a lot of tickets already sold. And if you want to go see the rap night and the Hawks Kansas City, better get your tickets quickly. Atlanta will put it in play down by 11, 104-93. Atlanta, Eddie Johnson and Randy Whitman now, and the front court of Dominique Wilkins, Scott Hastings, and Kevin Willis. Here's Eddie left wing, looking for Dominique low. Dominique catches in the lane. The scoop layup is no good. Rebound taken away by Parrish. Parrish must have 20 rebounds tonight. Wedman, front court. His pass is batted away. He tried to hit McHale unselfishly instead of taking the jumper. Dominique on the drive. In the lane, the layup is no good. Rebound, Dominique knocked out of bounds. He lost it out of bounds. He and Willis came together and both knocked it out.
That's the reason they lost the ball.
We've been told Parrish now has 18 boards, so he'll probably get his 20. On the deep left side, Dennis Johnson. McHale is low left. Here's a lob for Parrish, knocked away by Dominique. Good steal by Dominique. He got fouled in the backcourt by Wedman. It'll be a non-shooting foul. Ricky Brown will get back in the game for Atlanta, replacing Kevin Willis. Larry Bird gets the hand as he reports to the scorer's table. He'll be back with either 42 or 44. I have him for 44. We'll see. Eddie left wing. Down low, Dominique driving, gets a layup. And missed it. Rebound, Scott Wedman. Dennis Johnson comes cross. 9 minutes remaining in the game. Boston by 11, 104-93. The tempo has really slackened here in the 4th period. The teams might be getting tired. Here's Ray Williams, down low, Parrish, left box for the turnaround jumper. No. Air ball, rebound, Dennis Johnson, no, and knocked out of bounds by Ricky Brown. You know, when Ray Williams, Charlie, gets in shape, Boston will have 2 phenomenal rebounding guards in DJ and Ray Williams.
Yes, they will. They really will. I mean, they have 2 guys that can get you some rebounds.
Bird comes in, Wedman goes out. Wedman played very well. He leads with 12 points. Parrish down low. Takes the turnaround and hits it.
Parrish just goes along and does his work. Never changes his expression on his face.
No, he just keeps getting rebounds and points. Here's Eddie outside. His jumper no good. Boston about ready to put Atlanta to sleep. Ray Williams, a lead for Dennis Johnson. His pass to Parrish. Parrish gets a layup. And Atlanta will call time. The Hawks call time. There is a timeout on the floor, a timeout with a score. Boston 108 and Atlanta 93. Minutes and 11 seconds left in the 4th period as you're looking at 3rd quarter statistics. The only stat that counts, Boston leads it by a big fat 15, 108-93. You know, in truth, Charlie, Atlanta has played their hearts out tonight. They're just not as talented as Boston.
No, they're not.
And by the way, I don't know any other team that is. Maybe Philly, maybe LA, maybe on a good night, down low Dominique. Up top, Whitman. The wave is hit New Orleans. Dominique's layup is no good. The rebound taken away by Parrish. Robert Parrish rebounding has enabled Boston to run.
Yes, indeed. It really has.
See, they wouldn't be that good a team if someone wasn't getting the boards, and Parrish has gotten 20 boards tonight. 7:40 remaining in the game. Boston by 15. About ready to do their number. Parrish down low. He's doubled up, tripled up, and Carr ties up Parrish. It'll be a jump ball. That big smile by Antoine Carr. He had the ball to himself, and he was asking Billy Starr, how could it be a jump ball? But
Parrish had his arms wrapped around
Antoine and 0-0. Tip to McHale. The short shot is whacked away by Carr. Carr can really get up. Dominique also can get up. His layup is good.
They're lucky they didn't call traveling on him.
Pretty close, eh?
Yes, indeed.
Dominique has 28. 108.95, and Boston calls time. Boston calls time. We're going to set a record for timeouts in the fourth period, I know. There is a timeout on the floor of the score. Boston 108, Atlanta 95.
Yeah.
Seven minutes and 17 seconds remaining in the ballgame. Boston has the ball in a 13-point lead, 108-95. If you're wondering why the Hawks don't trap Boston, Boston's almost impossible to trap because their big guys can see over the trap and they all pass so well.
Right, they move the ball very well.
And you're just asking them to get open shots by trapping them, by doubling up. Here's Parrish outside for DJ. Cross-court Ray Williams and a 24-second violation against Boston. I'll tell you what, it's so noisy in this little building you can't hear anything.
You can't.
Now, Boston may not have realized that time was eroding. Atlanta down by 13. Eddie Johnson off a Carr pick. Eddie up top. In the lane, Ricky Brown. The pass was too hard down low, and it went out of bounds. It'll be Boston ball.
Danny Ainge is back in the line for the Celtics, replacing Williams.
Out of the backcourt now comes Dennis Johnson. DJ and Danny Ainge the backcourt with McHale, Bird, and Parrish. Bird has it swiped by Dominique. Dominique against McHale. Dominique on the drive in the lane. The layup is good, and they're going to call a walking violation and take the basket away from Dominique.
I wish we had that on the replay. Here it is. Didn't look like a walk to me.
You know what happened? It looked like his leg dragged, and maybe that's what you had this call. It's too bad.
But they give that call in
Yes,
this
they
league.
do. Bird's jumper is short. The rebound back tap and taken by Eddie. 2-on-2. Eddie goes right to the hole. The layup is good. Nice drive by Eddie. Good, powerful drive. Eddie has 26. Dominique has 28. Atlanta down by 11, 108-97. Just over 6 minutes remaining in the quarter. Down low McHale. He gets doubled. Dennis Johnson, cross-court, Ainge for the open jumper. No. Rebound. Bird knocks it out of bounds. They say Ricky Brown touched it. And it will be Boston basketball. 5:52 remaining in the game. Bird to bring it in. For Parrish, the layup is short. Rebound, Antoine Carr. Ahead, Eddie. Eddie has two in front of him to Dominique on the drive, and he got fouled by Ainge. Good foul. That's a good foul by Ainge. He saved the basket.
And he held him, too, so he wouldn't get hurt. Make him go to the line. Good pass by Eddie. Ainge just grasped him and said, no, don't dunk it on me.
Dominique on the line, trying to go over 30 for the third time this year against Boston that I can remember. In the 5 games the Hawks play Boston this year. Dominique's first is good. 108-98, Boston by 10. The Hawks trying to hang tough and scratch their way back in this game. Dominique has hit it again.
And it's such a tough uphill climb when you get behind the Boston Celtics trying to catch up.
Absolutely, because they score so easily. Now the trap. Boston off to Bird. Bird trap. Cross-court pass to Ainge. In the corner, Dennis Johnson takes the jumper and misses it. Rebound. Tap by Ricky Brown. Good play. Here's a 3-on-2. Eddie to Dominique on the drive. He jams. Dominique has 32. And Atlanta down by 7. You got to take your hat off to this Hawk team. Here's Bird flashing underneath. A good pass by McHale.
That's what happens when you try to trap these Celtics.
In front court, here's Doc Rivers left wing. 110-101. Boston by 9, 5 minutes. Rivers on the drive. Off to Carr. Open jumper. He's got it. Antoine Carr. Hey, by the way, Carr has kind of come of age tonight, hasn't he?
Yes, he has.
Dennis Johnson comes across. 110-103. The Hawks down by 7. Dennis Johnson up top. Off the pick comes Bird for the three-point bomb. In and out. Rebound, Antoine Carr. Carr can really put it on the floor. He comes up court. Carr on the drive in the lane. Dishes off to Dominique. He gets another jam. Dominique.
That's 2 in a row.
And Boston calls another timeout. We'll listen to the crowd. 110-105. Boston by 5. Boston led by Larry Bird with 44. Atlanta led by Dominique Wilkins with 34 and Eddie Johnson with 26. And I don't know who you're rooting for watching the game wherever you are, but I think you'd agree with me. It is one heck of a game. A terrific offensive explosion kind of game. Here's Danny Ainge front court. Ainge and Dennis Johnson with Parrish, McHale, and Bird. Going through is Bird without the ball, trying to post up. He takes it in the right corner. Bird cutting left, no shot. Down low on the baseline, Dennis Johnson. It's short. Air ball, rebound, Parrish. 24-second violation. 24-second violation. The Hawks get it back and a chance to cut the margin to 3.
They're not out of this game yet.
And those of you watching this game in Atlanta, a player or two away, and then the Hawks are going to be this kind of a team all the time. And remember, I said it. They're going to be exciting, and they're going to play hard, and they're going to win games. Those are the key ingredients to bring out your fans. Right side, Eddie. Down low, Carr. Antoine spinning, and he walks.
Rookie mistake. Trying to go a little bit quicker than he would normally would.
Atlanta has Willis, Carr, and Dominique up front, along with Rivers and Eddie Johnson. All right, here's DJ. Down low for Bird, posted. Gets away from the steal. He got fouled. He got crunched. It'll be a 2-shot foul. Willis and Antoine Carr met him at the pass, but Bird goes to the line, and you're talking about a 90% foul shooter.
And they met him at the pass, too. I mean, he had no chance to make this shot.
Bird finished the third quarter with 42. He has 44 now, and he gets 2 foul shots. 3:29 remaining in the ballgame. Boston by 5, 110-105. Bird misses the first. He has one more. He could give Boston a 6-point lead. Bird, foul shot. He's got it. Bird has 45. Atlanta to come across. Doc Rivers and Eddie Johnson, along with Dominique, Kevin Willis, and Antoine Carr. Atlanta needs to score. They could cut it to 4. Neek is low left. It's a triangle. Eddie. Now Eddie goes down low for Dominique's turnaround. It is short. Rebound. Willis and Parrish jump ball.
That was a tough shot by Dominique. Very tough shot. The thing is, every time you shoot the ball, you feel that you should make it. I mean, there's not a time that you don't think you should make it. And Dominique felt he should have made that shot no matter who was on it.
And I like that because Dominique will take any shot. Willis gets the back tap to Doc Rivers. Mike Fratello comes up to midcourt to call the play. Here's Rivers on the deep right wing.
It's a 3-man game with Eddie, Dominique, and Doc.
Right, the triangle is set up. Right wing, Rivers. Dominique low. Rivers takes the jumper. A bad shot. Rebound, Bird. Well, they gave Rivers the shot, and the shot was kind of a
He
low-line
didn't get
drive.
his feet set. He kind of shot it off balance with one foot in front of the other.
In front court, here's Dennis Johnson. Down low for Bird. Right side, Bird. Bird, the fall away. Tough shot, and he drills it again.
That's his shot. That fall away is Bird's pet shot.
Bird has 47. Boston leads it by 8, 113-105. 2.5 remaining. Atlanta cannot take too much time. They got to score quickly. Eddie on the drive, on the pass off, he got fouled. It'll be a non-shooting foul.
I'm playing with Eddie. You can sit here and I can tell you when Eddie's going to go to the basket, when he's going to make his move. And because he drops that shoulder and he comes back around and you know Eddie's going to the basket.
Randy Whitman comes in for Doc Rivers. Atlanta down by 8 with 2:20. Eddie on the right wing. Tries to beat Dennis Johnson and knocks it away. It's loose, not going to bounce. Last touch by Atlanta. It'll be Boston ball.
They're letting a lot of contact go.
needs to come across. I think Eddie's hurt. I think Eddie Johnson hurt himself when he fell down. He can barely walk. They got to get Eddie out of there.
He stubbed his toe.
Right corner, Bird, bomb, gut.
He hurt his toe.
Larry Bird has 49. Atlanta calls timeout. Hey, by the way, you know, Kevin McHale just set an all-time Boston individual game scoring record. Here's Bird's fall away again.
They've called a technical foul on Mike Fratello.
I think he called it on Rothstein.
No, it was on Fratello.
Was it on Fratello?
Yeah.
Anyway, I think McHale scored 52 that night, or 53.
56.
He scored 56.
56.
So Bird's a bit away from that. Bird has 49. 115-105. Boston by 10 with 156. Oh, the Hawks gave it a grand and glorious effort. And if someone says to you, well, Boston still beat them, but Boston's a better ball club. But the Hawks, if they show this kind of effort in every game next year, they're going to have a heck of a team. It's a 10-point lead, 115-105. And if technical was assessed to the Hawk bench, Mike Fratello or Ron Rothstein, and the technical assessed on Fratello. Well, it was on Ronnie Rothstein. It wasn't on Fratello. I thought I heard Billy Sarr yell Rothstein.
But see, I didn't think Ronnie had said anything until after he called the tech.
Well, anyway, it's on one of them. And I guess Mike Fratello
All right, John,
being the head.
you win that fight.
I guess Mike Fratello being the head coach, he'll probably pay Ronnie Rothstein's fine.
Yeah, right.
And I'm sure Olivia, listening back in Atlanta, would like that. Well, by the way, in that big game, in the battle for first place in the Midwest, Houston pulls within 3 games of Denver, but they beat Denver 131-129. I bet that sellout crowd at the Summit loved that game.
Yes, indeed.
131-129, a 2-point win for Houston. Larry Bird will try the technical assessed to Ronnie Rothstein. He will try for his 50th point. Bird. He's got 50. Larry Bird has 50 and Boston leads by 11, 116-105. In front court, here is Doc Rivers. On the right side, here's Dominique. Open. Dominique drills a shot. Dominique has 36. He hasn't had a bad game.
No, he hasn't.
116-107. Boston by 9 with 1:40. Eddie Johnson on the bench. He hurt his foot when he and Dennis Johnson collided on the sideline a moment ago. Doc Rivers back in. Bird. They open the right side. Bird the fall away. He drills it again. That's the best shooting I've ever seen in the game.
Yes, indeed. Oh, what
Dominique on the drive on Bird. The layup is short. Rebound. Dennis Johnson. Bird has 52. Front court, Bird. Open. Gives a pass to McHale. McHale gives it back to him. Bird on the drive. The scoop is short. Rebound, Bird. Bird, the layup is short. Rebound, McHale. And the rebound taken away by Dominique. Dominique down to Rivers. Rivers on the drive. In the lane, Rivers lays it off, and Willis gets the basket. You think the sellout crowd is kind of happy they came here tonight?
Oh, yes.
What a game. Rivers and Dennis Johnson bang together. It'd be a foul on Doc. 118-109. Larry Bird tonight put on one of the greatest shooting exhibitions I've ever seen.
He put on a clinic. That was a clinic.
And the reason I say it is he made so many tough shots.
Yes.
Bird with 52. Dennis Johnson, a lead for Bird.
They want him to keep scoring too.
Bird takes the jumper and hits it again. Bird has 54. One more basket will tie the record McHale set for most points by a Celtic in one game, and McHale didn't set it more than a week ago. Rivers fouls Dennis Johnson. And did you see the interplay with McHale and Bird before?
Yes.
McHale said that Bird kept giving him the ball to break the record, to break Bird's record.
And they're giving Bird the ball now to get the record.
And now they're giving Bird the ball. Exactly. Here's the last shot by Bird.
Right, and they're looking for him. That's a tough shot there.
Rivers got the basket. Bird Bird takes a shot. He got fouled before. Bird needs 2 to tie. Bird needs 2 to tie, and he needs 3 to set an all-time individual record for the Celtics. Bird has 54 in the game. If he makes these 2 foul shots, he will tie McHale for most points ever by a Boston individual in a game. Isn't that an amazing coincidence?
Well, he's had 56 before. Larry Bird has.
Bird has 55. He can tie the record with 56. Amazing. He does. Bird has 56 points, 33 in the second half. Rivers across, they deliberately
You know why they're fouling? They're fouling to give Bird a chance to break the record.
Yes.
That's why they're fouling.
You know, when the Tampa Bay Buccaneers did this to the Jets, allowing them to score, they got fined severely, but Boston is deliberately fouling to get Bird the record.
And there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, they're playing, they're just fouling.
122-111. Boston by 11. Bird has 56. He needs 1 point to break the record for Boston players. What an amazing coincidence. McHale did it less than 2 weeks ago. And the entire place chants Larry, Larry. Foul shot, no good. Rivers has 1 more. That's amazing. You're seeing the best in the game, Larry Bird. Rivers makes a foul shot. Ainge in backcourt to Dennis Johnson. Bird is on the baseline coming out right. There's Bird. Bird, 14 seconds, he got fouled. He hit the shot. They're not going to count it. And Bird falls into Joe O'Toole. They're not going to count it. I think it's the greatest shooting exhibition I've ever seen. Larry Bird. What more can you say? Larry Bird, Larry Bird.
He's unconscious. Oh, boy. He got fouled. He just threw it up there and it went in.
Well, he has the record, and McHale goes over to congratulate him. McHale, Ainge, Larry Bird has 57 points, an all-time Boston record for 1 game. And McHale had set the record less than 2 weeks ago. Bird, foul shot, got it. Bird has 58. 13 seconds remaining in the game.
Anymore. They just want him to get the record.
Rivers, a 3-pointer hits it. Rivers hit a 3-pointer. 124-115. Bird tries another 3. He missed it. And with 3 seconds, Bird will try another jumper and hit it at the buzzer. Bird has 60 points. Larry Bird scored 60 points. Look at the Boston players mob him. Larry Bird scored 60. It is the greatest shooting exhibition I've ever seen in my life. Larry Bird, one more impossible shot after the other. And it happened here in New Orleans at the Hawks' home away from home before a sellout crowd at Lakefront Arena. Boston has won the game, and the winning of the game seems almost incidental.
Really, that's true. It is. It really is. The winning of the game is very, very incidental. Because Larry Bird just put on an exhibition that, I mean, surpasses anything that I've ever seen.
It's just unbelievable. Because Bird, unlike many great players who are scorers, doesn't shoot every time. He passes the ball. Here's a guy who's one of the greatest playmakers in the history of basketball. We'll get back with a recap. Aren't you glad you tuned in? What a phenomenal game. Boston wins it by 10.